I'm down here next to the tractor we nicknamed as Puff. And it's down here because it needs work. It's not even close to repair row, which is usually right in front of the shop or next to the shop because it's on timeout. The reason it's on timeout is because last fall it broke our hearts. Because the adventure never stops, I'm in my favorite 4840. We called it Puff because it was blow and blow by from the day we bought it. Guys were driving it home tonight. It sounds like it lost oil pressure. They weren't kidding. Oil pressure next to nothing. The reason it broke our hearts? We kind of like this tractor, even though this is maybe my worst. This is probably my worst financially move as far as buying a tractor. In other words, I just got gotten. And yeah, sometimes when you're self-employed, you just got gotten. We got gotten on it. We bought a tractor that probably shouldn't, that the auctioneer absolutely lied to me about the condition it was in. But then we brought it home, put some money in it, fixed different aspects of it, and then we kind of fell in love with it because it actually is on 18442s. It straddled the corn stalks real nice. It worked really nice for what we needed to do on the farm side. And even though the reason this thing is called Puff, it's not a Magic Dragon, it doesn't live by the sea, and it's not an overrated rapper from the 90s that put out averagely good music. No, it's a tractor that had so much blow by. It literally just had this white cloud underneath it all the time. And even though it did that, we took it to that level. We drove it, put a decent amount of hours on it, and we took it to that point where it wouldn't go anymore. And actually, the motor kind of let go on us last fall. Not bad for a little over 12 hours worth of work on a very nice Saturday, but kind of cool being able to take one tractor and split it, make it two, and got the engine sitting over there, and the front end, rear end back there. Today was a lot of fun, and actually, you know what's funny? I've had tractors split in a shop like this before, and I come back down here when everyone leaves, and I just about want to cry because it's like, oh my god, this is gonna be so expensive. We've done this a bunch, and luckily we've always been able to get them back together. This tractor here, the reason doesn't make me feel bad seeing it split like this, ever since we bought it, it's had issues. And actually, I'll never forget, we bought it out in South Dakota, bought it on an online auction. The auctioneer absolutely lied to me completely, the condition it was in, because as soon as I showed up, I could literally see where they wiped down the intake because of all the oil. They wiped it all down to make it look good for the pictures, and the front end was pitched in, and as soon as we fired it up, there was a trail of white smoke underneath the track. I knew it had so much blow by, no good was coming from it, let's put it that way. We bring the tractor home, we fix a lot of little oddities with it, and then it didn't go that smoothly. We always have this joke where it takes us about a year to work the bugs out. Year one with this, we had one of the duals fall off, which actually the rim was so worn out, we ended up putting a new rim and tire on it, or different rim and tire. Adam was stock shopping with it, and the tire went rolling off into the trees. Whoops! Then we ended up, through the course of the season, blowing out both front tires. Oh well. But after that, we actually got it where it was actually a pretty decent, nice tractor. Started and drove real nice. And we put about 200 some hours on it up until last year when all of a sudden the guys called me and said, hey, we knew it was getting worse. We knew it was just slowly pushing out, or there was more and more blow by underneath the tractor. So we were kind of at that point last fall where it's just, oh, please get us through fall. That got us close. Last fall, the guys called me and said, yeah, it quit going, and we have like no oil pressure, and it sounds horrible, and they were right. They weren't kidding. Oil pressure next to nothing. So we're gonna grab 8th gear. Yep, that sounds horrible. And so we knew this day was coming. Hey, so did that sound as bad outside the cab as it did inside?
Sound very good.
Oh, Puff, you've been good to us in a crappy way. It's just kind of fun. Today was just one of those awesome days. Back in spring, we bought on an online auction, we bought a combine engine that is basically the same. We got to swap some parts, but it's basically the same blockhead, etc. injection pump. So we're gonna be putting that motor in. Earlier this week, my dad, it was kind of funny, we bought it. It was still in the combine. We called the guy to go get it last spring. It was still in the combine. We called the guy a week ago, it was still in the combine. So he was supposed to get it out, over the summer. No big deal, it doesn't matter. It's not like I had time to work on it anyways. But my dad went earlier this week to pick that up.
This is our new motor for 4840, which is known as puff, because it burns so much oil, it'll puff white smoke out of the breather.
Last night we brought it up here and got it in the shop, and then me, Adam, and Aiden started pulling off sheet metal and the basics. Well, then today, this morning, we got rolling. Well, here we are on a beautiful Saturday morning. What's it, like the 18th of September, something like that. Well, anyways, we got Puff in the shop last night. We started the dismantling process. The goal today is to keep taking off lines and taking out nuts and bolts until the engine comes out. And so we're gonna keep moving forward on that. And yeah, for the most part, I'm pretty happy. Everything's coming apart really nice. So hopefully it keeps doing that, because my goal is, we'll see how this goes. The goal is today to have this motor out in the shop by myself. I got the shop doors open, and anytime you got the shop doors open, it's a good morning, because that means it's not ultra cold or rainy or sleety or anything like that. So I'm gonna get back to it and we'll see how this goes. Fun. And I didn't realize how many people actually kind of enjoy doing this, because at different points today in the shop, I had myself, my dad, Adam, Ben, Aiden, and my two nephews, Gage and Corbin, and all of us were just pulling bolts off. There's times I was just walking around telling guys different things to do, like take this off, this off, this off, this off, this off, this off, this off. You're gonna need this wrench over here, you're gonna pull here, not there. I mean, it was just kind of funny, because I've done a number of these over the years.
Oh, no way. These never split. Wow, that just made life easier. That couldn't have been on there very long. Has a new A&I tag on it. What do you think, Gage? You pulled your first turbo. Kind of cool, huh?
Okay. There's one thing with this whole project I was a little worried about, and that is anyone who's ever worked on these, or anyone who's ever worked on an old diesel in general or gas, the number one thing you hate, exhaust manifold bolts, because they usually rust solid and you usually break them, and that means you usually got to drill them.
This is your exhaust manifold, and these bolts here, these are the bolts. Even the first night I was walking around this project, I was dreading, because these are usually the ones that can break and snap off. I think we got pretty lucky. I got the turbo pipe and J pipe off already, and I noticed this last night. I think somebody put a new exhaust manifold on this at some point, and I want to thank the old mechanic, because he put never sees on everything. So if you're somewhere around South Dakota and you were a mechanic and you worked on a 4840 that was actually just a crap pile, but you were good enough mechanic to actually put never sees on and bolt this on, thank you.
It was really just a lot of fun today, just going through and then just tearing it down.
Oh, it's been a long journey, but Adam is pulling the last bolt out before we make the tractor a two-piece. Kind of cool, ain't it?
Yeah.
It's definitely been a team effort. We've had everybody working on this thing so far today. Kind of cool. Friend of mine taught me how to do this, mechanic guy, and yep, he always makes it look this easy. And it's funny, after like 15 years of doing this, man, we're finally able to make it look easy.
And nothing went horrible.
The back feels instantly better. I've bench pressed those up, laying on the ground, get them on your chest, and then bench pressed them up. It's the only nice thing when you're in the shop versus in the field and on the job site. It goes so much better. We got everything off, we got it split, that went really good, but then when we went to slide the motor out of the frame, once you know it, we had one bolt that the motor, because you kind of slide it through the frame, but we had one bolt that the motor went back, hit that, took us a little while to figure out. Then we also had an issue with the jack not wanting to go all the way up. I bet that's about a gallon. So there we are, engine's kind of just hanging there, and we had to dump oil back in the jack. But today was just a lot of fun. Everybody just kind of did their part, and we just kind of banged it out. I mean, it definitely was a team effort. My dad was running around with a skid loader and bringing in pallets, taking this out, that out, making room, etc. And we were just stripping her on down. And it's really actually cool to see this, because by the time we're done here, it should just be a really, really nice tractor. Oh, we did it. We got half a tractor there and half a tractor there, and an engine right over there. Oh man, I'm sore. I'm tired. I'm hot and sweaty. I got engine oil on me, antifreeze on me, hydraulic oil on me, diesel fuel on me, whatever mystery oil we dumped in the jack.
The ATF or whatever it wasn't.
Yeah, whatever mystery oil was in the jack. Long day. I mean, we started about 8, and it's a little after 6 now, but took about a 20-minute lunch break. That was about it, but we were jamming. And this was a big project, but it went really, really well. I mean, I was shocked. We didn't break one bolt. To me, so last night on the air intake bolt, and then the exhaust manifold and the turbo and J-pipe, I was kind of breaking those loose last night, and I knew we were going in the right direction without like the fact that I could get those broke loose. And that was the real fear is sometimes when you start working on an exhaust manifold, you just start breaking the heads off bolts and they don't come loose, and that can be a complete nightmare because then you're in there drilling them. So as soon as that came loose, I knew the worst was behind us. But man, nice feeling. Motor's over there, front end's over there, rear end's over there. We still got a little more dismantling to do. And actually some of these components like the hydraulic pump and some different stuff we're gonna take to the mechanic's house that's gonna help me put this all back together. I got no problem tearing stuff down. Sometimes it's just you pay the professionals for their knowledge. And me and Adam were just laughing because I got this hydraulic pump here, and it's funny. We had to pull it out anyways because it attached to the motor, the casting it attached to the motor. So we had to pull it out anyways with the motor, but we're actually gonna have the mechanic go through and check it out, basically go through it, kind of reman it. And I was joking with Adam, it's weird cleaning one of these up that's not leaking oil. And as far as I know, everything built good pressure, but it's there. It's the easiest it is to get to. It's about 6 hours of labor to tear it down. If you got one that goes out, or you can drop them out the bottom, and that's where bench pressed them up. Yeah, but it's kind of funny, but yeah, it is nice seeing this all going away to get refurbished and remanned and rebuilt and all that stuff. And when it comes back, it'll be just really nice just to bolt it all together. One of those times, nice to see taillights. And we got a mechanic that comes to the shop, helps us with this stuff. And I've been learning from him for about 12 years, 13 years now. And every time I'm just always amazed because I always learn something. You know, you never know it all. But overall, man, I am super thrilled. My shirt's soaked with sweat. Dinner's gonna taste really good. A hot shower's gonna feel really good. But nice feeling, you know, Saturday night, and she's in pieces. One of the things that'll make your life completely better on a project like this is identification. It doesn't matter if it's wires like I got here or oil lines or different things like that. I know firsthand what it's like to get excited. You start ripping stuff apart. Then when you're going back together, you're like, where did this go? One of the easiest ways that we found is get a bunch of multicolored zip ties. What those are gonna do, they're gonna be really, really simple to identify, you know, each end or where they go. I got them on here on this electric solenoid. I'm gonna trim them back here with the clippers, but then I'm actually gonna leave those multicolors on there because even if I got to change that solenoid out at a later date, it is just really nice knowing, hey, they're all colored marked. I can take a picture of them and take the part off, put the new part on, look at my picture, see where everything went. And it just makes life really, really easy. The other thing that's nice with that compared to like stickers, different things on that order, they handle the oil, the dirt, the rain so much better. I've had stuff that 10, 12, 15 years later I go to and it's like, oh yeah, I've been here before. I can see the zip ties. Neat little tip. Hopefully it's helpful for you. I know for me, it definitely is. But no, I think I'm gonna sleep well tonight, and I think I'm just very, very happy that rear end's over there, and front end's over there, and the motor's over there, and the new motor's way over there, and there's a whole big parts order at Deere that's gonna get bigger, and so yeah. But I don't know. For right now, today, just happy.
Yep.
Kona, what do you think?
Yeah, me and this tractor have a love-hate relationship, that's for sure.
Kona loves the camera attention, that's for sure.